Hey kid, get the fuck out of here! Right now. Hey kid, get the fuck out of here! Right now.
How you doing, Cookie? What part of the planet are you on, Cookie? Because it's a little late where I am, and I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, here he goes again, going up late. Can't stay up for it. Well, probably not a lot of people, maybe like 4 people. But most catch them on the replay anyway, you know. But I am here. Peace to Haps and their little Nas X hearts. Hopefully that goes away soon. It's irritating to me. I just don't like floating hearts around my head. It's irritating. Where are you located? I am in the mighty state of Michigan. So I am Eastern time. Okay, you're in Atlanta. All right, same time zone. So yes, it is late where you are. I have no idea why you're up this late, but I appreciate you being here. So I just wanted to do this cast because I just found out this whole thing that's been going on with the Emmett Till case. I guess it's come to an end. You know, it's come to an end now. Uh-oh. And I think it came to an end many, many years ago. I don't know why they chose to act like they were going to do something, like really, really do something. Just like all of these exonerations that they do when people die. I mean, these people served prison time, died in prison, or you killed them while they were in custody, but now you want to exonerate them 70 years, 80 years after the fact. Fuck you. That's what I have to say to the system of whoever is exonerating someone that has been dead for 30, 40, 50 years, and the crime happened 70, 80 years ago that they did not commit, that you imprisoned them for or killed them for, and you want to exonerate them now. Oh, you want to clean up their name now? Okay, good. Good. You decimated their family. As men, you decimated their family. You decimated the ability for them to create families or maintain families. If they were the breadwinner, which most men were back then, a lot of single working households, if you took these men out of their household, their women, wives, families became recipients of welfare, if it was even available, you know, some type of social assistance. But it didn't need to be. You just could have left them the fuck alone. They just could have lived their lives, been fruitful for their families, and, you know, minded their own business. But instead, you wrongfully convicted them after wrongfully trying them, after wrongfully arresting them, after wrongfully accusing them, and then you want to exonerate them 70 years later. Fuck you. That's what I have to say to that. So that's why I made this cast about white lunacy. Because you have to be a lunatic to do some of the things that have happened in the past and that are now happening in the present. And unfortunately, these things happen mostly to people that look like me or you, Cookie. And they happen at the hands of people that don't look like us. So where you and I may have like, okay, this interest because things like this happen to us, my interest is, when is the next time a white lunatic is going to step up to do something wrong to us? Because see, I know for the most part, I'm going to be talking about people that have done harmful things to us, detrimental things to us, killed us. But there's a couple in here that I'm going to be talking about that they didn't kill us. They may have murdered. They may have assaulted. Or they just may have attempted to assault, to a murder, and they never got the chance. Either way, they were white lunatics, because it takes lunacy to do some of the things that people have done to us. Tony D, what's good? It takes lunacy. You cannot be sane and do some of the things that are being done to us. You cannot be sane. You could be functional, maybe not fully functional, because I think you're a impotent little dick motherfucker who does something like this to a black man or black woman. And if you happen to be female, you have a syphilitic fucking vagina. But either way, you're a lunatic. And y'all know I'm all about the words. I'm all about the words. So lunacy, it's pretty cut and dry. Insane, mad, deranged. You have a mental instability. You have an unsoundness of mind. Because some of the things that have happened to people that look like I, and look like you, Cookie, and look like you, Tony D. Some of the things that have happened have had to have happened by people that did not have soundness of mind. You don't do some of the things that people have done to us if you have a sound mind. I mean, when I think of someone like Derek Chauvin, who knelt on a man's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds and basically sent that man to his death under his knee, you cannot be of sound mind. I don't know why they didn't try to go for the temporary insanity thing. I would have tried to go for the temporary insanity thing and say, look, Your Honor, my client didn't know what he was doing. He had no idea that this man was losing. I would have went for the crazy plea. But they tried to stay in trial. They pled not guilty. He didn't do this. He didn't do this. He didn't know this man. He didn't have any vengeance towards this man. It was all bullshit. It was never brought up that these two people had worked together. Derek Chauvin and George Floyd were fucking colleagues at a nightclub. But nobody talked about that in the trial. Why did that get thrown out? This trial should have taken 3 days. Oh, you knew him? So you knew he probably didn't do what you're saying he did. Or maybe he did do what you say he did, but you couldn't treat him better? Okay. Guilty, motherfucker. But they never brought that up, and maybe the jury didn't know that these two individuals had worked in the same bar on urban night, on Latino night. They talked about it. They talked about it before the trial, but for some reason, evidence and shit that they talk about before these trials never tends to get to the trials anymore. How does all this evidence get thrown out that we know about, but it gets thrown out by the time the trial gets, I mean, we got some really fucked up prosecutors. But either way, Derek Chauvin's going to die in jail, one way or the other. But he's a fucking lunatic nonetheless. So we talk about him. And then you have over there where a man is getting into his car. If he's trying to flee, he's trying to flee. But he's not turning a gun on anybody. He's literally just trying to get in his car. And it's neither here nor there for me to say whether he should have been trying to get in his car. Was he resisting? Was he fleeing? You pulled out a gun and shot him in his back. Kimberly Potter. What kind of nasty ass individual can you be to pull out your gun and shoot somebody in the back who's getting into their own car? He didn't steal the car, it was his car. And as a veteran police officer, she mistook her service pistol for a stun gun. Stun guns and pistols don't even feel the same. They don't weigh the same. You don't wear them on the same side of your uniform. All that shit's out. She's going to be found guilty. How many years she gets, I don't know. But that's lunacy. She wasn't even involved in the skirmish. She wasn't involved in the fracas. So why did she pull up and pull her weapon out and put several bullets into Dante Wright? You got to wonder. Are they going for the lunatic plea? Are they going, hey, my client here, she lost her mind, didn't know, she thought she was pulling out her handcuffs, Your Honor. I know she said she thought she was pulling out a stun gun, but we've really talked to her and she really thought I would go for the crazy fucking plea. But I believe she too has pled not guilty. That's why she's on trial. I heard that. I heard that she trained other officers how to use their tasers, but she mistook her taser for her service pistol. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way in hell you are a trainer of tasers, the usage, the functionality, and you don't know the difference between a taser and a service weapon. But that's what she said. That's what she's gone on. That's what she's flown in on. So if she's going to ride with that, let her die with that. Because she's a lunatic too. Deranged. That is deranged. He posed no threat, OG classic. Yet he was taken out by a trainer of tasers who mistook her service pistol for a taser. I just have a hard time even a weapon without the magazine in it weighs more than a fucking taser. There's no way she should have been able to miss. I don't even want to talk about her anymore. She's going to prison. I think there's going to be convictions for a minute. I think they pretty much know we need to start convicting some of these motherfuckers or shit's really going to start popping off. Because every situation is not going to end up like Kenosha. Every situation is not going to end up with a Kyle Rittenhouse heading somewhere to kill black people and ended up killing white people. Because, see, that was a bad look. Kyle Rittenhouse, they say I got a bad signal. Here, let's do this. They say Kyle Rittenhouse was going there. He wanted to take out some black folks. That was really his goal. His goal was he wanted to go there and, he was looking for melanated folk. The fact that he got accosted by some people who weren't black and ended up shooting them just happened to be the way the cards were dealt. because he went to Kenosha to start some static with some black folks. And he never got a chance to, because most of those protests now, even though it's about a black person being killed or shot, abused, whatever, are mostly white people from other states, mind you. Most of these protests, people don't even live in the places they be protesting in. There's just traveling protesters now. There's just caravans of protesters, mostly Caucasian individuals. I'm not getting into what acronym they may or may not belong to, but whatever. Protest in your own area. That's all I ever gotta say. You go somewhere that you shouldn't be, shit happens. Ask Kyle. I mean, he's free now, so he didn't have any consequences, you know. I mean, that little jail time he had, he slimmed up again, because he had got kind of chunky. He was a little out of shape, and, he was kind of looking more like a bitch than he really was, because I didn't know it was a man when I first saw him in that trooper uniform. He didn't look like a man. He looked like a pat. That's what he looked like. He looked like a pat. And I was like, oh yeah, he's deranged as fuck. Then when I saw him in that fight beating up that girl, that don't seem like that made it to the trial either. He had a propensity of violence already. But they didn't say anything about that. They made him out to be some type of fucking, what do they call them, choir boys? The whole thing about his mom buying the gun and all that stuff, I guess that was not true. But it doesn't matter. Somebody else bought the gun and gave it to him. Why didn't they get charges put on them? Straw purchasing is illegal anyway. Especially in a situation where you're buying a weapon for someone to commit a crime. It's illegal. It's actually illegal. Blazing. Last weekend just didn't work out for us, Blaze. Hopefully we can get it in either this weekend or sooner. My days really aren't slowing down much, and I'm not going to be up here all night. I just want to really kind of run through these lunatics. And like I said, I really was thinking about the Emmett Till case because I didn't know what they were looking to do there. When they said they had opened the case back up and it was this and it was that, and I'm like, nothing's going to happen. If they didn't convict and sentence anybody or kill anybody for killing Emmett Till then, why would they do it? What is this? 66 years later. 66 years later, they're going to do something? No, they're not. Emmett Till was killed 66 years ago. They're not going to do anything to anybody white today, tomorrow, or any other day. The case is now closed. We now know that Emmett Till died and nobody was convicted of his murder. And that's America. But America is not a racist place. Where's the president on this? Where's the vice president on this? Where's Nancy Pelosi on this? Where's Chuck Schumer on this? Where's Cory Booker on this? It's time for you to bring up your anti-lynching bill that never can get passed, Cory. All while AAPI bills get passed. All while Latino bills get passed. All while Native American bills get passed. All while Afghani bills get passed. But your anti-lynching bill sucks. Because it doesn't get passed. It doesn't get passed. And now Emmett Till has once again been disappointed. Queen Mamie Till, what can anybody say? Y'all disappointed them. You couldn't run charges and a conviction, even though it would have been just more for show. Anyway, They just said, you know what? We're not going to punish anybody for this kid's killing. They killed a child. They killed a baby. Emmett Till was a baby. Never had a chance to grow up. Never had a chance to create a family. Never had a chance to get married, have a career. Killed.
Enjoy.
This is another Infosol production.
I agree and I don't agree, Classic. I believe Biden has something to do with it because he is now one of the 46 presidents that we've had in this country, and he had an opportunity to say, hey, wait a minute. Before we shut the door on this, because once we close the case on this Emmett Till thing, these niggas gonna start bringing up that George Floyd policing bill again. So wait a minute, maybe we can kill two birds with one stone. Maybe we do the Emmett Till thing, slide the George Floyd policing bill in there. Don't get rid of qualified immunity because we know that's what holds the bill together. But just run the bill through and run Emmett Till shit through and see if they'll be happy with that. He does have a little bit to do with it.
Soulful music.
Look,
Enjoy.
Biden is 2 + 2 is wood right now. And nobody's saying anything about that. He's losing marbles all day, every day. I don't know if y'all noticed the hair loss that he's had in the last 11 months, but Biden is fucking damn near bald. They are swirling that shit around on his head like a bowl of spaghetti. He's losing his hair. He's more pale than he was before. And he was white as a motherfucker before. Now he's really, really white. He's a lunatic too. He just ain't killed nobody with a bullet. He's killed people with qualified immunity. He's killed people with the 1994 crime bill. He helped kill a lot of people with that Kenyan surfer. Barry-O. Barry-O.
Enjoy.
But where we are with this right now, we have to keep moving. We've got to stay steadfast on white supremacy's ass. And that's why I talk about the motherfuckers who have done unjust things to us, and even motherfuckers who didn't do unjust things to us, but had an intention. Kyle Rittenhouse had an intention. And the Three Stooges who just got convicted, oh my God. I can't wait till they get sentenced. Travis McMichael and Roddy Ryan are going to be brutally raped in prison if they're put into general population. Brutally raped. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. That Roddy Ryan, he looks like he's ready to cry right now. I bet you he wished the batteries were low on his cell phone that day. He wouldn't have been able to make that film. You know, you can't film shit when your battery is low on your phone. It might let you take some still shots, but when your battery is low on your phone, you ain't got enough juice, you can't film shit. I bet you one goddamn thing, he wished his shit was under 20% that day. That's what you get for having a charged up phone, Roddy. Yeah, they gonna beat your ass, Roddy. You gonna have to play with a man's testicles in prison. You better believe that. If they put him in general population, he is going to have to play with a man's testicles. I'm just saying. Yeah, he is an old snake. But he got elected as a young snake, and they allowed him to grow and grow. And you know, the bigger the tank, the bigger the snake can get. And look how big he's gotten now. He's now the president of the United States. He's not just embarrassing the state of Delaware. He's not just embarrassing the state of Pennsylvania. He's not embarrassing the whole country. Going to these places and the leaders are half his age. They probably are going to be segregated, but I don't know. Gregory McMichael might get some segregation because he's a former cop, even though he was a dirty cop. I absolutely believe there should be an age limit on elected officials. I believe that you are out of touch at some point. You couldn't have stayed in touch with all the generations, all that time. You're going to go with what you know. And yeah, you're going to probably have some younger people on your staff. You'll have younger people on your staff, but you're still going to control everything. You're going to treat everything the way you think. Even though Biden's got people mostly half his age, a little bit older, on his staff, he's still spitting out the 78, 79-year-old rhetoric. And just so we make sure that we're still in here by ourselves. Still in here by ourselves?
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here! Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here!
As long as we know that no kids are allowed. I don't know what y'all doing on y'all cast, but I'm not allowing any children to be on my cast, even though Haps allows children to be on the platform. I don't give a fuck. I don't want them in here. I don't want them listening to me. If I want to give this game to a child, I'll break it down to a child. But I'm not going to PG myself. I don't need parental guidance. I am a parental guide. What up, Kimmy? So I have to keep my disclaimer ready to fire it off. But yes, elected officials should have an age limit. I also believe that you need to have certain credentials. Like Joe was 0 for 3. And he was a miserable 0 for 3. A miserable 0 for 3 running for president. I mean, he wasn't even close. Then all of a sudden, they just handed him the nomination. Handed it to him. The golden child wasn't even in the running. Kamala wasn't even in the running. They thought Kamala was going to sweep everything with black girl magic or Brahmin Indian girl magic or Jamaican girl magic or now she's Asian girl magic. She was going to get some girl magic going once she figured out what ethnicity she was going to be. Even though she used the black moniker to get the votes. She used the black moniker to get the support. She used the black moniker at the HBCU. She used the black moniker when she was listening to Tupac records in the 80s. Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Mid-80s. Yeah. Right after this Tears for Fears song, we're going to have Snoop Dogg. Bitch. She just lied to y'all and y'all believed it. Ski-weeing, chucks and pearls wearing motherfuckers. Well, it ain't convenient right now for her to be black. She's already getting treated like a stepchild. And they got her listed as Asian. When they said she became the president for 85 minutes, she became the first Asian president. The first woman president. Black ain't nowhere near around Kamala's name no more. So can we call her Kamala now? We've been calling her Kamala. Can we just call her Kamala or Kamala? We've been nice. Half her staff is gone. Half her staff is gone. She lost her staff and her bodyguard all at once. When Simone Sanders left, she lost her. Simone was her bodyguard. She was security. She was secure. I don't know why they tried to act like Simone was really a part of the staff. Simone was there to take motherfuckers out. After I saw her take Joe Biden's assailant out, I was like, oh yeah, they're going to bring her in for some security. They did. They brought her in for some security. Not no job security, but they brought her in for some security. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Yep. Sure did. So, in our state of Michigan, we recently had he's a young killer. He would have grown to be an old killer, but he chose to do all his murdering as a teenager. And I have a feeling he's never going to kill anybody else in his life. I believe they're going to make an example out of him. They're riding it too hard right now. I believe they're going to make an example out of Ethan Crumbly. Ethan Crumbly is a lunatic. He's a young lunatic, but he's a lunatic. Hell, his parents are lunatics too. They're old and they're lunatics. They set him up to be a murderer. Therefore, they should go to prison too. Because had it not been for them, he would have not had the weapon to go to school and murder and shoot and terrorize. Because it's terrorism. They need to stop with all this shit. This is terrorism. Domestic terrorism by a domestic terrorist. I don't give a fuck that he was in third period French. He was a terrorist. And he was just waiting to terrorize. Motherfucker had a meeting with authorities that morning and had a meeting the weekend before. And still went back to class and shot the motherfucker up. He got to go. 4 murders. Several others hit. Hundreds terrorized. Oh, yeah, he's got to go. Put him away. And like 80 years from now, exonerating. There we go. Do what you do to black folks. Put him in jail forever, and about 80 years later, then exonerate him and say, you know what? He was just a kid. He shouldn't have been convicted for all that. We're just going to change the charges to a juvenile and say that he got out, even though he never got out. And we're going to exonerate him. We're going to clear his name. There you go. Clear his credit up. Clear it up. Could have took the principal out. Principal's got to be breathing a sigh of relief right now because Ethan could have got up and took the principal out, walked out, took the secretary out, and anybody else in the office. He was sitting there with steel in his backpack. His mama texted him and said, you can't get caught. You've got to be more careful. Just don't get caught next time. What'd he do? He went out and shot some motherfuckers and got caught. Horrible. That's horrible parenting there. His mama and daddy are horrible. Ethan should have been the night that his mama just wanted to suck some dick, and she should have swallowed Ethan. Ethan should have never made it to the vaginal canal. She should have swallowed Ethan. The parents are in jail too, Rochelle. They've been charged with involuntary manslaughter, 4 counts. They're going to prison too. He had bad aim. That's all. That's all, Angie. He had bad aim. He had a couple magazines. He just had bad aim. He probably couldn't even hold that damn gun right. Little weak ass bitch. He only killed 4 people, injured several others, but he should have took out a whole bunch of folks. And I'm not wishing that. I'm just saying. Dad was horrible. He should have left Ethan on that 200 thread count barbed wire sheet that they sleep on, country bitches. She could have gave birth to Ethan just like that. Ethan should have ended up on the back of her hand. Yeah. In there doing shit that he ain't supposed to do, he don't know how to do. Shot 4 people, killed him, sorry. He shot several others, but yeah. He's still a terrorist. He's still a fucking terrorist. He's a lunatic above all. Ethan is a lunatic. And what did we say lunatics are? Let's just go back to the word. Insane. Mentally unstable. Demented. They're idiots. You know, if you're a lunatic, you're an idiot. You are crazy and you are ridiculous. Boy, a lunatic can be a lot of shit that you call a lot of people all day, every day. I call people crazy, ridiculous, all types of times. But I guess I should just call them lunatics. He said Duck Dynasty clearance. So I believe I've gotten to the point where, I already told you, I ain't gonna be here all night. I had to talk about these race soldiers though, but I had to get to this one. I've talked about Kimberly, Derek, Kyle, Ethan, Travis, Gregory, and Roddy. And I know that there's so many more that I could have brought up, but that wasn't about just bringing up people that have killed black folks. I was talking about lunatics. These cases are pure lunacy. They should have not have happened. And they had to be insane to have these things happen. But the last one is the most recent one. And many of you probably haven't heard about this if you're not in the state of Michigan. It's local news, and it should be national news. But it's local news. A white woman, female, she's not a woman, she's not a lady, she's a female, 37 years old. I mean, I'm 51. And she's 37 years old. I don't know why she has this hate in her heart. I don't know why she has this derangement in her heart, in her soul. But a couple days ago, A white woman in a stolen van. White woman driving a stolen vehicle. I mean, this is the narrative that we don't hear about a lot. A white woman in a stolen vehicle. In the morning time where these kids were walking to school. Somehow, I don't know how, they haven't talked about how, but I'm going to be interested to find out how she got 4 kids, or all siblings, brothers and sisters, how she got them to get into this van she was driving. She abducted 4 children from 5 years old to 11. I'm not sure how she did it. I want to know if she had a gun. I haven't heard about a weapon she might have brandished. I haven't heard about anything. All I heard was she got stopped by the cops because she ran a light. Now, you just picked up 4 babies on their way to school in a stolen vehicle. You was careful enough to steal the vehicle. You was careful enough to be driving around town and not get popped driving the stolen vehicle. Then you picked up 4 babies. Then you decided to run a red light. Lunatic. That's not a lunatic. That's a lunatic. Crazy. Insane. Not right. How did you do all that other shit and get away with it, but you couldn't manage to make it from the abduction site to whatever space you were taking these babies to? I'm glad you didn't make it. I'm glad you didn't make it. What was she going to do to those children, 5 years old to 11 years old? What was going to happen to those kids? But it just goes to show you, you don't fuck with our babies, bitches. Leave ours alone. If y'all want to go do that shit to y'all's, do that. But leave ours alone. No, they're black kids. They were all black. I want to thank Officer Parrish, Friedman, for seeing that something was wrong when him and Officer Flannel pulled over the van for running the red light. I want to thank him for his intuitiveness, both of them for their intuitiveness. We always hear about black men and how they're not there and they're not doing this, not doing that. As a police officer, he went over and beyond to see that something wasn't quite right with this white female with these 4 black babies, saying that these were her kids. They're not mixed, they're black. She's white, so she would have had to maybe adopted them because they're darker. They don't look like biracial children. And you know what? Y'all got to stop saying biracial. Y'all raising black babies, okay? I mean, if that's what you need to put on the forms to get your assistance and loans and grants, put that shit on there. Get that money. Get that fucking money. But you raising black babies, white women, white men, y'all raising black babies. If the baby is biracial, the baby is black, you're raising a black child, they're not going to think twice when they shoot your baby. They're not going to say, oh shit, they're half white. No, they don't see half white. They see a nigga. When they see your baby, they see a little nigga baby. So y'all need to understand that's where you are. You don't have a biracial child when white supremacists come looking for your baby. You don't have a biracial child. You got a black baby. That's all I know is their names, Officer Flannel and Officer Parrish. And I commend those brothers because they could have just did the regular stop, but they both were looking in that car. And when she said that those kids were hers, all those kids were like, and they knew something was wrong. They asked her, are these your children? And she said yes. And those kids got like the Jackson 5 Well, Jackson 4, seeing that it was only 4 of them, so I guess it was like when Jermaine left, and they haven't really upped Randy yet. So they were the Jackson 4, and they were like, just like that, all in unison. And her ass was got. And when they ran her, they saw she had a long criminal history. White, female, long criminal history, stolen van, abducted black kids. Not the narrative you normally hear, but it's the narrative we're living right here in this state. Ethan was big news. He was big news, and it still is big news. But what's really big to me is 4 black babies were saved by the police because they caught Stephanie Bender slipping. She was slipping. Because you know who slips? Fucking lunatics slip. There you go. There you go. If she was a real criminal, for one, that stolen vehicle that she had, she would have abducted those kids and known right where to go, where she could have dumped that vehicle, put those kids in something else that might have not been looked for because they were looking for that vehicle. But it is the city of Detroit, and they don't really stop people in stolen cars a lot. She was white, too, so, you know, she was getting a pass just on GP. And it was a transit van, and I'm sure there's a ton of transit vans that have been stolen in the city of Detroit. I don't know if by white women or not, but, hey, it is what it is. So, Stephanie Bender is now in jail for abducting 4 children. She is the latest of the lunatics here in this state. Y'all probably got your own lunatics in your own state. Because that's what these people are. They're lunatics. She came for our babies. 4 of them. She tried to just knock all the shit out at once. No going back and getting one. No, I'm just going to get a family of 4. I'm going to get a 4-pack of kids and call it a day. Where were those kids going? What were those kids going to endure had she not been stopped on a routine traffic? I don't know. But those lunatics, and let's see, let me just get to my picture again, because I had a picture that I'm going to end up making the thumbnail. Kimberly is in jail. Derek's in jail. Stephanie's in jail. Ethan and his mama and daddy's in jail. Travis, Roddy, and Gregory in jail. Only one's not in jail is Kyle Rittenhouse. He's the only one that's not in jail. And he killed 2 people. You know, I know. Self-defense. Yeah, he's the only one not in jail. But he's going up on the thumbnail, too. I'm about to put that up as soon as I get the video done and put the thumbnail up. So they can see what this is about. Because it's about white lunatics. Who's got next? I'm sure we'll have one relatively soon. Probably before the giving season is over. Hopefully everybody is having a good giving season, because that's all you do is give shit. You're either giving shit or you're taking shit. But it's that time. And I appreciate everybody that stopped by. You know, I'm going to get ready to go. I'm going to eat a vegan cake tonight. This is a vegan cake. I didn't know they made vegan cakes, like specifically. Vegan lemon lover baby bunt cake. So I'm going to check this out tonight. Get home, get me a little Fairlife. Lactose-free milk. And check out what the vegan cake is like. I am going to, well, I hope so. Hopefully it's moist. I don't like too many things moist. But the things I do like moist, I need them to be moist. So hopefully it's moist. Okay. And flavorful, and we'll go from there. I don't know what constitutes a vegan cake. I don't know what's not in it that makes it vegan, so, I'll check it out. But everybody that stopped through here, contributed to the chat, I appreciate you. Anybody that's on YouTube, I don't know people from YouTube, perhaps, or Facebook anymore other than anonymous Facebook users. Wherever you are, wherever you're going to pick this up from, even on Twitter. I get people that watch on Twitter. I don't even fuck with Twitter. And I guess Twitter has this new Twitter space. I'm contemplating going in there since you can do like live shit. I just want to see what type of mischief I can cause in there. I mean, I'm not looking to cause mischief. I just know I probably will. Peace and blessings to you. Back to the basics. Y'all be good out here. Happy birthday, Mary Ellen. I know it's after 12, but it was her birthday yesterday. One of the most unforgettable Thanksgivings ever. Sitting there just about to just dig into our food, and somebody just walks in the crib. Totally in the wrong house. I ain't never had that shit happen to me. And I don't think they knew they was in the wrong house till they saw my black ass. They was like, oh, okay, maybe we are not where we're supposed to be. But either way, it was what it was. My sister Shanna. Shanna, I wasn't staying here long tonight, but I had to talk about some lunatics. Some Caucasian ones. Some white ones. And I got it in on all of them. Kimberly Potter, Derek Chauvin, Kyle Rittenhouse, the Crumblies. They sound like a goddamn cartoon. The Crumblies. Killer ass white people. The Crumblies. The McMichaels and Roddy Ryan. They sound like a WWF wrestling team. Travis and Greg McMichael and Roddy Ryan. Yeah. They're going to be wrestling all right. They're going to be wrestling in themselves. Yeah. Trying to keep that booty hole pinned to the mattress, because if they don't, somebody going to take it. Somebody going to take Roddy Ryan's booty hole first 30 days in jail. He ain't going to be able to go nowhere by himself. He about to get some friends in there. So I wish them well in prison. I want Travis, Roddy to get raped on the first day. And Gregory, see, he old. So he's probably not going to get raped like Travis and Roddy. But somebody might just take him just because. Too bad this ain't the Godfather of Harlem and they don't get Big Dick Buster. Every time I saw that door slide open on Godfather of Harlem, I'm like, oh boy. That's just too much. Anybody whose name is Big Dick Buster, you already know you're in for some trouble. And it's just best for you to just, I don't know, die. But they deserve every negative thing that people will think is negative that's going to happen to them. I think it'll be positive things. I think it'll be positive reinforcements for all the things that are probably going to happen to them in prison. Ooh, shit. You talking about the R? I did say it, didn't I? I said it kind of several times, but yeah, I got to be careful with that. Yep. Thanks, sis. You right. As usual. As usual. Yeah, I got to watch the R unless I'm talking about Rakim. Unless I'm talking about Rakim. So, I got something else to talk about tomorrow already. I'm really focusing on us and where we're going. That seems to keep me out of trouble, because whenever I start talking about some other stuff, people's feelings get all in the way, and don't nobody care about us enough for, I guess, me to fuck up. So I'm going to keep the talking for the freedmen. I know I talk to more than freedmen, but I got to talk for the freedmen. As part of Black media, I want to continue to support the content creators out here that are actually creating content, not just hearing a news story and regurgitating it as if they're on one of these other acronymed news stations. The MSNBCs, the CNNs, the BNCs, CBS, NBC, ABC, whatever. We are not that. We are on the internet. Therefore, we should be giving up the real narrative. And I can't tell anybody how to speak. I won't tell anybody how to speak. But the way I see it, if you open up the mic for foolishness, which usually wins out here, it's unfortunate. But if you open up the mic for foolishness, you're doing the collective a disservice. The Freedmen Collective, you're doing us a disservice. If you're not opening up with positive, beneficial information for freedmen, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Because the ultimate goal is to be repaired. The ultimate goal is for reparations and policy and legislation to come our way specifically. We are speaking on specificity. Everybody else got their shit specifically. That's what we want. We don't want an all lives matter reparations bill. We need an our lives matter reparations bill. There's a big difference. A lot of y'all like saying all lives matter. Our lives matter. Not that yours don't matter, but reparations, it's kind of us. So I appreciate everybody that stopped through. I appreciate everybody that's going to watch this on the replay. The lunatics are out here, y'all. But goddamn. I wish I could be like my friend and just hit the lottery. There's somebody I know hit the 3-digit a couple of days ago. I wish I know who's got next. I know I don't. When Ray Soldier comes for me, it's not going to end good. And I want to thank any kid that thought about coming in here but didn't. And then any kid that did come in here and stayed and didn't say shit, obviously, in the chat.
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here!
One love, y'all.
Hey, kid, get the fuck out of here!
Right now.